Hello, my name is Richard. Today I'm going to talk about the consumer journey and omnichannel, and at the same time reflect on the research that me and my team have done for this topic. We know that customer journey involves several stages, with each stage plays a necessary role in ensuring that consumer mind is set to purchase the desired product. We know that also that the digital world plays a big role nowadays in the buying behavior of consumers. Alright, what are consumer journeys? That is a great question. Think of them as simplified e-commerce personas. A standard set of marketing personas will cover a vast range of demographic and user types, focusing on things like where they live, their income, and other more stuff. Consumer journeys nowadays, on the other hand, are focused solely on how a user engages with your website. As part of a well-defined design process, you should gather details about your marketing personas to align your e-commerce strategy with the needs of your users. The consumer journey can be divided into three main stages that are distinctively different from each other. These three stages determine what kind of content should be directed to an audience. For instance, you wouldn't provide the same content to someone who has never heard of you as you would to someone who is on the verge of buying from you. Those are two completely different scenarios. The first of the three stages is called the awareness stage. The awareness stage is at the top of the sales funnel. In this stage, a consumer is beginning to realize that they have a problem or issue that needs addressing. They will most likely be searching the internet for answers, which is where search engines come into play, SEO. If your content answers important consumer questions, they will be much more likely to fill out a form. That's why any awareness level content should be geared towards explaining your company and how you can help. A good examples are blog posts, white papers, ebooks, videos, and social media. Social media is one of those good examples that are used more often nowadays. Your content should cover as many relevant topics as possible. A good example is when nowadays advertisements of McDonald's are more and more put into social media, of course, rather than the traditional TV advertisement method where it is shown at each break between programs. This shows that organizations need to adapt to new awareness strategies that are part of today's trend. The next stage is called the consideration stage. At the consideration stage of the consumer journey, a person will generally have an understanding of their problem. They will then conduct more research to see how each option can solve their particular problem. Basically, they are laying their options on the table. This is where companies will inform the consumer about how their products or services can address an issue. Examples of solid consideration level content include email marketing and live content via podcast or videos. A popular platform for these videos nowadays is of course YouTube, where videos are shared towards viewers who may have an interest in it. These videos are often longer than normal ads, which gives the companies time to explain consumers why they should choose their products. Lastly, the bottom of the sales funnel and the final stage is appropriately named the decision stage. At the decision stage of the consumer journey, a consumer, well, you guessed it, decide. In all likelihood, they will have chosen a solution. Now the only thing they need to do is pick a company. At this stage, it is best to provide branded content like case studies, testimonials, free trials, or just product comparison guides. Ideally, you need to show the consumer how much value they will get out of choosing your company compared to others. The consumer journey is such an important part of the marketing process, especially when you consider these three important steps. Now I'm going to the next part of the video. Of course, I'm going to talk about is omnichannel. Omnichannel is a cross-channel content strategy that organizations use to improve their user experience. Omnichannel supersedes multi-channel and includes channels such as physical locations, e-commerce, mobile applications, and of course social media. The main difference between the multi-channel and omni-channel is that the omni-channel approach interrelates every channel to engage with customers as one whole unit, to ensure that they are having a wonderful overall experience with the brand throughout each and every channel. The focus is therefore on building a stronger relationship between consumers and the brand, and hopefully also creating brand loyalty. Two good examples that I have used in this research is the retail company The Rode Loper and Actiesport. The first example is Actiesport, and Actiesport is aiming to create an omni-channel network for their business activities. However, there is some presence of a loose connection between the store and the social media profile of the company, as many photos or videos do not have a link attached to enable the purchase from the given platform. Still, based on research, we found out that they are aiming to integrate their digital and physical platforms, which is one step close to an omni-channel. Another example is the Rode Loper, which is a shoe retailer that makes use of showrooming method to enhance its online sales. There is a strong connection between the physical store and their e-commerce, which is an essential part of having an omni network. Still, due to the fact they haven't fully used the full potential of their branding in their other channels, this prevents them to fully act as a whole unit with their other channels. Both of these companies have to seek improvements that help increase their consumer experience in each of the business aspects or channels to completely influence the customers' minds about the products. When these improvements are being sought out, then they will truly have an omni-channel network. To conclude on both of these topics, the consumer journey has changed over the years due to digitalization, has created more opportunities for companies to understanding the consumer behavior and the decision-making process. Examples like social media and YouTube are used more often by companies to promote their products and ensure for the declining use of the traditional methods at the same time. Since this is the new marketing trend, there is no escape for those who aren't able to adapt. The omni-channel is a modern network that occurs more often than in the past. Due to the fact that many businesses aim for a strong connection for all their activities. However, we found out that many companies thrive to have an omni-channel, but are having difficulties to completely transform their network. Those two examples that I've spoken about, which is Actiesport and Rode Loper. Those are two good examples of those companies, which leads to both of them finding ways of improvements to fully influence the buying behavior of the consumer and hopefully create brand loyalty. This is to conclude this presentation, and I hope you enjoyed the video.